In a 1940s maximum security prison, security was a manual process. Operations relied entirely on human observation and physical barriers, without the aid of digital monitoring or electronic overrides. This document, issued in 1942, provides detailed instructions for the United Provinces to prevent inmates from breaking containment. The opening lines establish an absolute mandate. The staff's primary duty is to ensure every prisoner remains in safe custody. Achieving this requires solving for a specific variable: human fallibility. Guards are subject to fatigue and distraction, which creates a gap between the prison's rules and its actual security. The physical reality of the era's containment methods, such as these heavy iron leg restraints, illustrates the high stakes of maintaining that control. To manage the risk of human error, the administration developed a three-layered strategy: an architecture of containment. This strategy relies on two main pillars: a rigid schedule of temporal verification and a system of internal surveillance designed to audit the behavior of the guards themselves. These instructions treat every person and every procedure as a component in a larger, interlocking system designed to verify its own status at every hour. Inside the walls, the baseline assumption is that security is not a static condition provided by a wall, but a continuous activity that must be performed. This cycle begins with the morning unlocking sequence, where formal responsibility for the inmates is transferred from the night watch to the day shift. Note the specific requirement in the manual: the night duty staff on the main wall cannot be relieved until the jailer has personally verified that every prisoner is accounted for. By requiring this joint verification, the protocol ensures that no single guard has unmonitored authority over the status of the population. The manual applies this same level of scrutiny to the most vulnerable transition in the 24-hour cycle: the midnight handover. At midnight, the protocol demands a detailed identification of every prisoner. Guards are required to verify the specific individual on each berth, rather than performing a simple head count. Requiring guards to identify specific faces effectively blocks the use of decoys or dummies in the beds, a common tactic used to delay the discovery of an escape. This system operates on the principle that the prison is only secure during the moment of verification. Therefore, the regulations force that verification to repeat. This architecture also addresses a secondary vulnerability: the guards. If the state relies on the staff to watch the prisoners, it must have a way to ensure the staff is actually performing their rounds. To solve this, the prison used a mechanical audit system in the form of a portable control clock. During the night watch, a warder had to carry this clock to specific checkpoints located throughout the cell blocks at set intervals. Fixed keys left physical impressions on the clock's paper tape. Functioning only via centrifugal force, the device required a physical swing, preventing faked entries. Each morning, the jailer compared these records against night logs to verify patrols occurred without interruption. If the records were incomplete or the clock showed signs of tampering, the guard responsible faced direct administrative and financial consequences.
Through this mechanical audit, the patrol path of the guard was integrated into the prison's physical records, making the staff as much a subject of surveillance as the inmates. Without radios, the protocol used a physical communication loop. This token system involved the continuous passing of numbered brass and iron discs between the sentries stationed along the wall. Discs moved post to post around the circumference, beginning and ending with the gatekeeper, who logged their exact arrival times. If a disc failed to appear, the gatekeeper was instantly alerted that a specific post was potentially compromised. The security of the wall relied on this rhythmic, human-powered loop to confirm that every guard was alert and at their station. The final challenge to the prison's containment model was the economic requirement for extramural labor, work performed outside the walls. Moving prisoners outside the primary physical barrier creates an obvious risk that the administration had to manage through strict categorization. The manual sets explicit criteria for extramural labor eligibility, barring many based on their crimes. Groups permanently excluded included those convicted of poisoning, dacoity, and anyone serving a sentence longer than 7 years. For those cleared for work, the manual added a physical requirement. They had to wear iron ankle rings with numbered brass tags for identification. The administration also set strict limits on the size of these groups, mandating a ratio of no more than 12 prisoners to a single warder. If a work gain grew to more than 7 prisoners, the regulations required the addition of 2 convict overseers to assist with the supervision.
By applying these categories and ratios, the prison managed the risk of outside labor through a standardized logic of supervision. Even with these precautions, the protocol had to account for the possibility of an actual escape attempt from an outside work detail. In this scenario, the instructions mandate a specific two-part response. While the warder in charge pursues the escapee, the instructions state that any nearby staff must immediately take control of the remaining prisoners and march them back to the safety of the main gate. The primary objective is securing the group and sounding the alarm, prioritizing the remaining containment's integrity over the immediate capture of a single person. This protocol ensures that an isolated failure does not lead to a total breakdown of the prison's security procedures. When viewed as a whole, the 1942 instructions reveal an interlocking system of checks and balances. The official weight of these rules is captured in the final signature of the Inspector General of Prisons. While modern facilities use different tools, the underlying logic, overlapping layers of verification, and the auditing of personnel remains a core principle of security. This record indicates the prison's primary strength was not found in its stone walls, but in the constant repetition and verification of its internal rules.